Hey y'all. That's not it, but okay. Hello everybody. So it's my first YouTube video. I don't know why I'm like being shy because I'm literally talking to a camera. But I've been wanting to start a YouTube for a while because I know that my crazy mind can like keep y'all entertained. I'm gonna do like an easy video because I don't really Today I'm getting my lips dissolved. I've been wanting to do this for a while because I noticed I have some migration. I'm not sure if like on camera you can see, but basically the lip lady, she told me to go like this and you can see the outer ridge of the migration, and I was gonna go to this other place, but they told me that they were gonna dissolve and refill the same day, and I'm not like a scientist, but like that just sounds wrong to me. Like, you're telling me you're about to put dissolver here and filler here. Like, I feel like the middle part is gonna somewhat intertwine and mix and dissolve. So I think that I'm just gonna get it dissolved today, and then in 2 weeks I'm just gonna get like my borders redone and like what. Okay, so quick update on the lips before I jump into a story time. I just put on lip liner, but you can see that my lips are smaller. There's like bruising. It's starting to bruise around. I look like a little Karen, but it's okay. I'm gonna also try my hardest not to swear. If anyone knows me in person, I swear a lot. I like to use vulgar language in my vocabulary. So I'm gonna try and rewire my brain for YouTube just so that I don't have that problem. But I wanted to hop right into a story time of why I'm starting YouTube and what my life path is, kind of, because the reason I wanted to even start YouTube is just because I wanted to like document my life in a different way, because if anyone has me on my personal IG, like I spam. I post everything that's going on. If a funny moment happens, I try to capture it. Like, I love doing wild things at the club. Like, I love wearing provocative outfits. I love provoking people. Like, I just love being me, okay? And that's kind of gonna be the point of this YouTube channel. I'm just gonna doing things that I like to do. And yeah, obviously that's what anyone does on their freaking YouTube channel, but I'm gonna do it with a twist. And I wanted to kind of talk about, I'm not gonna lie, the story time is like a little bit depressing. It's like not a happy, funny story, but it's kind of like, it needs to be said, you know? Like, this is like the reason why I'm like moving from one thing to another. So yeah, also I'm like really bad at editing, so I think most of my YouTube videos are gonna be like real, so you're gonna catch all the things that I'm saying, except maybe I'm gonna cut out the out-of-pocket stuff that I say, because you know, I feel like I'm like not that politically correct. But okay, story time. So before I start, I need to tell you guys about this bouncer and he is very creepy, okay? Usually I don't notice people's auras. Like, I will, but this person specifically has a black aura, like a black cloud around him. Dead eyes, there's no twinkle in them. He is scary. And about 2 months ago, he found my like personal Instagram, never gave it to him ever, never even gave him my real name. By the way, I work at a strip club. I don't know if I mentioned that, because like, anyways. So he follows my personal, and I'm like, what the flip. And he tells me randomly, because I think he likes me. He said to me, "Oh, you know, when you like walk past someone, you say, bonjour, ça va? Like, hello, how are you?" And I'm like, okay. And then since that day, I felt like a weird pressure to just always say hello to him. So I would just see him and I'd be like, "Hi, how are you?" Not that awkwardly, but I'd be like, "Hi, how are you?" Lol. Like, he's just weird. A weird character, okay? So fast forward, that was a while ago. Fast forward to like Monday of this week, which was 6 days ago. I do a VIP room, and let me tell you guys about the club prices because you need to memorize this in order for the story to like make sense. So the price for the room is $110 for a half hour. Oh my God, actually, there is another story that I missed. So rewind, okay? So that piece of information is still relevant. So before Monday, okay? This was 2 weeks ago, okay? I did a VIP room with a couple, like a man and a woman, older. They were older. And I told them the price was $110 for the half hour, but since there's 2 people, it's gonna be $220. And actually, my club does not want us to make money. Like, they're super against overcharging, which is fair, okay? I'm not saying anything, like, but they also lower the price on, like, more people. So, like, if I did 2 people, it's not $220 for the half hour. It's actually less, which I didn't know. But it's just like $220 already. I'm dancing for 2 people. It's like nothing, you know? Like, anyways, that is beside the point. I do the half hour. They're really chill, like a little bit, you know, they were getting a little bit wild, but I finished it and I said, okay, that will be $220 plus any tips are appreciated. And the lady by herself goes to the ATM. I'm with her husband, whatever, chatting. I get dressed, and then the lady comes back, gives me the money. She gives me $280. She gives me like 300 something, okay, with tip. This is like kind of irrelevant, but kind of relevant. So then I go on about my business. I go back down to sit with another customer, and I'm conversing with this customer. Conversating. I'm talking with this person, and the bouncer comes up to me. He doesn't speak English very well. Swear to God. He comes up to me with his calculator open, and he types in the number 280, and he like shows it to me. He's like, "You charge this much for the room, right?" And I'm like, "No." And then he's like, "Well, the room is," types in 180, "this much. Can you tell me the difference? Can you tell me the difference?" So then he goes 280 minus 180 on the calculator. Oh, I swore. He goes on the calculator, does that. It says 100 now. And he's like, "Do you know what that number is?" Like talking to me like I'm dumb, you know? And I'm just like, 100. He's like, "Give me 100 right now, or else I'm gonna go tell management." And I'm like, "No, I'm not giving you 100. And first of all, I'm not giving you 100. If anything, I'll give you $20. But I'm not giving you 100. And second of all, I didn't charge 280. She gave me whatever tip that she wanted to. Okay, whatever she pulled out of the ATM was not what I charged her. It was the total with tip, you know? And he's like, okay, I'm gonna go. And literally does a 180 straight to my manager. And I'm gonna be honest, like previous to this, my manager had already talked to me a few times about overcharging. It's like a whole thing, okay? So then I'm like, no. I'm not about to get fired for this. So I come up to my manager while they're talking and I'm like, no. This is not the situation. I grab my manager's hand. We go to the couple and I was like, my manager like wants to know how much I charged you because there's apparently a miscommunication. And the lady, she's like, oh, she charged me $220 and then like we gave her a tip. And then my manager's like, oh, did you have any complaints? And she's like, no, she was so amazing. Like, we love her so much. And not even being fake, like, they actually loved me, you know? And then my manager's like, because he thought it was weird. He's like, why is the bouncer snitching if the lady is, like, content, you know? Then he's like, my manager starts walking away from me, and I'm like, yo, I just got blackmailed, like, and I snitch, you know, obviously. I'm like, yo, this man fully came up to me being like, give me $100 right now or else I'm gonna get you fired. And I'm like, I don't think that's okay. Like, that's not okay. So I'm telling him this and he's just like, oh, like acting like, you know, like he's gonna go talk to him. And I was like, yeah, like go, because that's not okay. That's not your job as a bouncer to like do that. So then fast forward to Monday. This is like actually 6 days ago. I did a room with 4 girls, so 4 dancers, and 3 guys, and 1 guy had 2 girls, okay? And this one guy was like loaded, like rich, and he was like, I'm gonna pay for everything. I'm gonna pay for the alcohol. I'm gonna pay for the room. I'm gonna pay the dancers and the tips and everything. Like, he offered to pay everything, right? And I spent from 12 o'clock until 3 in the room. And the 2 girls that came with the guy, they came 1 hour after me. So I spent 3 hours. The girls spent 2. But there was 1 other girl in the room with me before. Okay, sorry. Rewind. So at the beginning, at 12, at midnight, it was 2 girls and 2 guys. And then later, the one that was paying, he came in with 2 girls 1 hour later. So he came in at 1, okay? So me and another girl spent 3 hours in the room. And then that guy with his 2 girls spent 2 hours in the room. The total for me should have been 660, okay? Okay, the total for me should have been 660 if we're counting club price, okay? 3 hours times, so that means that's 6 half hours, which is 6 times 110. Anyways, math breakdown. Plus tip. And my club specifically tells us we're not allowed to ask for tips because we already make enough money. And let me just tell you guys how ridiculous and like misogynistic that is in itself, because it's so degrading. Like, let me tell you the lore of this club, okay? You walk in as a customer, you go to coat check, you pay the coat check and you tip the girl checking in your coat, okay? You go to the bouncer, he pats you down, you pay a cover fee, $10, whatever it is. Then the bouncer takes you to your table and he tells you a $5 tip per person is customary. If you don't tip him, you're out. You get kicked out. You must tip the bouncer to seat you, okay? He doesn't do anything else other than take you to your table. Then you must get a drink. You must tip the waitress. Then you go to the bartender. You get a drink from her. You must include your service. Then you go get a dance and you pay $5 for the room, and there's a girl sitting there collecting the $5, and you tip her as well. Then if you get the champagne room, which is the bigger room, you pay $50 for the room to the club, and then the bouncer will walk you to that room, and you tip the bouncer too, okay? He expects a tip as well. So it's like, you know, like as a customer, they know they're coming there, you're gonna spend money. Like, you're not coming there with $40 in your pocket and being like, oh no, I just spent $10 on my cover and $20 on my drink, I have $10 left, like, what do I do? No, you come there because you know you're gonna tip everyone. You're gonna find someone that you like, a dancer, maybe two, and you're gonna spend money on them and tip them. And you know, like, that is common sense. Like, that's how it works. Like, you could literally ask anyone. Like, if I ask them, I'm like, how much do you think a 10-minute dance is where you fully are allowed to touch? And they'll be like, 100? I don't know, like, probably like anywhere between like 60 and 100. No, do you know the actual price? It's $45, and we're not allowed to ask for a tip. So anyways, that was like a story within a story. Where was I? So the price of the room was $660 plus tip for me because I did 3 hours. So it's like exactly 3 a.m. Like, they stayed until we closed, and the guy who offered to pay exited the room, and it was fine because we knew like they all had money. Like, all 3 of the guys had money, but just that guy offered to pay for it. So we were like, okay, whatever. So we're putting on our clothing and our heels and whatever. I exit the room. It's like 3:05 at this point. We go to the bar. The guy is gone. He didn't like dine and dash. He paid, but he just left, which is sus, okay? But we were like, oh my God, where is he? And then they're like, oh no, don't worry, you guys got paid. And then she's like, just give me a second. So the bartender is paying us, okay? So she is like, oh, like, we asked for a tip for you guys and everything, so don't worry, like, you guys got a tip. And in my head, I'm like so happy. I'm like, okay, like, we each got at least 1,000, I'm thinking, you know? She pulls out the cash and she gives us each $675. And it's even for all 4 girls. And I'm like, well, first in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I did 3 hours. These girls did 2. So, like, just that alone is like, the split is not right. But I'm not going to be like, oh, that's my money because I spent more time. Like, already I was just like, okay, like, there was a mistake. And second of all, I was like, they left a $15 tip. Like, I'm confused. And she's like, this is a $200 tip because you guys just did 2 hours, right? So the total was like 400 something, and then he tipped you guys like 200. And I'm like, babe, I did 3 hours. 3. Okay, not 2. Like, who said that to you? And guess who? It was the creepy ass bouncer who tried to get me fired. And then I was like, I'm gonna lose it. Then I was gonna talk to him, but he already left. He already went home. So I was like, it's okay, I'll talk to him tomorrow. And I'm not like, you know, I'm just gonna keep it all together. So anyways, next day comes. It's Tuesday now, so 5 days ago. I am like ready to talk to them, and I'm like ready to be like, bro, y'all messed up, okay? So I go upstairs to where the girl taking the $5 for the room is, and the creepy bouncer. And I start talking to her, and I'm like, yo, can I talk to you? And I just want to clarify, I was using that tone. I was not yelling. And she is like, yeah, let's talk. And then I explain the situation. I'm like, I know for a fact I did 3 hours and I got underpaid. And she starts arguing back at me, saying that no, I didn't get underpaid because they tipped me $15. So I got $660. I got $675 when I was supposed to get $660. And I'm like, wow, great, thank you so much. Like, no, that's not how it works, because these men, I knew they had money. Like, if one guy is offering to pay $5,000 or $6,000, they have money. Like, it's not like, oh, you guys get tipped. Even the guy walking them to the room, he was getting tipped $20 pretty much for every half hour. So he got tipped probably like $120 just for walking us to the room. And we got tipped, like, I got tipped $15 for sitting on their lap for 3 hours. Like, nah. And I was like, sweetie, like, no, like, this is not how it works. Like, this is not how, like, and it's just hard to get through people's head who don't do that. Like, her job is literally to, like, head count customers who are coming in. Like, she's not a sex worker, So then I'm triggered, and I'm just like, that is what the bartender said. And the creepy bouncer comes, and he's getting all up in our conversation. I'm like, can you leave? No one is talking to you. Like, and yes, I am being rude. I'm being super rude, because he tried to get me fired, like, 2 weeks before. I was like, don't talk to me. I'm not talking to you. Go. And he's just like, no, I'm going to stay right here because I have every right to stay here. And just like, I wasn't yelling at him. I was just like, can you go? No one is talking to you. So then we go to the bartender, and like, whatever, we talk about it. She's just like, okay, there's nothing we can do. So I let it go. I was just like defeated. And I went down to the change room, like, telling my friend what just happened. And I'm like, yo, it's just like, they said they couldn't do anything. And the manager comes down, grabs the chair that I'm sitting on, like, rips it, like, that, like, I don't fall, but he, like, pulls it from under me. And he's like, get out, like, take your stuff out of your locker. You're not working my shift, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, screaming. There's, like, 6 girls. Everyone's like, and it's, like, very gossipy there. Like, it's gossipy at the strip club. It's cliquey. Like, these girls, there's the BBL girls, then there's, like, like, there's all these groups of girls, and everyone's just like, oh my God, what's going on? And so I'm, like, basically fired at this point, and I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm like, can I talk to you? And he just keeps talking over me. He's like, yeah, come to my office. I come in his office. He's, like, pacing around, doesn't let me talk. I'm like, can I explain the situation? He's just like, you're overcharging. You're yelling at my staff. You're yelling at my bartender. You're yelling at my bouncer, whatever. I'm like, yo, calm. Like, I did not overcharge. I got undercharged. I don't know how that's even, like, a thing. Like, I'm mind blown. I'm mind blown. And second of all, I never yelled at anyone. I never yelled at the bartender. Me and her are friends. And I never yelled at any, like, And I was just, like, explaining the story exactly as I explained it here. And he just keeps interrupting me to the point where I have to be, like, as nice as I possibly can. Stop interrupting me. Let me tell you the story, please. Like, let me tell you the story as it happened, because I didn't do anything wrong. I'm the victim here. Like, I'm sorry, I am. And then, he finally hears me out, and he's like, okay, you can stay, because he wanted me to get out. He's like, okay, you can stay. But he already treated me like I'm not even, like, a human. Like, he didn't even say, can you come to my office so we can talk? He yelled at me in front of everyone. And then I go upstairs. Mood is ruined. Like, imagine that happens to you, and then you have to go up to customers being like, hey guys, how are you? Like, where are you from? Oh my God, what do you do for work? Like, fake. Can't do it. You can't do it. I was depressed, and I was loathing and, like, rage for, like, that bouncer, like, because I know it was him. It was him, okay? He's the one who, he's trying to get me fired 2 weeks ago, and then he's trying to sabotage me. So then every customer that I took, that night was a horrible night, by the way. I just want to, like, add, there was, like, 7 people in the club, but luckily my friends came to visit me at the end. Last hour they came, and they got a dance from me. And as I go up the stairs, they pay the $5, and then the bouncers, he's like, just so you know, the dance is $25 a song. Don't let her overcharge you, okay? the bouncer's not supposed to talk to you. And they're like, okay, because I took 2 of them, okay? I do the dance for them and they pay me the money. And then after I'm like, guys, come with me. Like, I don't want the bouncer talking to you. The bouncer stops us and he like grabs his shoulder and he's like, so how much did she charge you? How much did she charge you for that time? Like, I timed it. And then he's like, none of your business. Like, what do you have to do with anything, you know? Like, he's really trying to cause a problem. And then I had one other customer that night. He did the same exact thing, comes up to him, asks how much I charged. And I was just like, you have no right, no business. You disgust me as a human. Like, you are, ugh, like, I hate him. So then, yeah, that was Tuesday. And then I didn't work until Friday, which was 2 days ago. And honestly, had like the worst night on Friday. It was the worst Friday ever. Like, I made less than minimum wage that day. And that's never happened to me before. And not to sound like stuck up or anything, but if you're like a sex worker, it's not a wage that you can just make 15 bucks an hour at. Like, we're not here doing emotional labor and like acting as a therapist for that amount of money and showing our naked body. And like, you know, it's like a luxury and like a privilege to be able to come into a strip club. You don't see a homeless person in there. You don't see like poor people in there. And I don't mean that in an offensive way. I just mean it. Oh, it's my friend's birthday. Will you give him a free dance? No. Oh, I work minimum wage. Can you give me a discount? No. Like, don't, like, go invest your money. Don't come in the strip club. Go open a TFSA and invest your money so that you can be rich one day. Don't come in here if you have $200 in your bank account. And then when the dancer tells you, oh, your total is 60 bucks and you give her $65, oh, here's your tip. No. We already deal with enough as dancers, sex workers in general, deal with enough. Like, it's really like triggering when people say, oh, you have like such an easy job and like you literally just get paid to be hot. There is days when that happens, you know? There are days when I glow because everyone will like give me good energy and like no one will really steal my energy away from me. But there are majority, actually, like I would say like 85% of nights where you leave drained. Like, and I never realized like how that works before, but the best analogy, imagine I'm just like, oh, I hate my job, I hate where I live, my apartment's so nasty, and like, or imagine crying, like just being like, I can't even act that out, but just imagine like miserable character and like, imagine that's my friend right now. I'm gonna cuddle her, hug her, ask her if she wants food, like watch movies with her, ask her if she wants to go for a drive. I'm gonna tend to this person's needs because they're my friend and because they need me and because they're going through something. And it doesn't even have to be out loud. It doesn't even have to be them crying. It can just be them like upset, you know? And you can see that. Like you're hanging out with that. And now that's my friend. I don't mind taking on emotional labor for my friend. But then there's nights where for 5 or 6 hours straight, you're absorbing the emotions of a random man who is also sexualizing you and taking your sexual energy. So not only is this person, my friend will be almost vibrating at the same frequency as me, you know? Like I can actually understand their problems and whatever in life. But this old man who hates his wife, is cheating on his wife, probably has deep, dark crazy secrets that no one knows, is sucking everything out of me and paying me the bare minimum and like touching me in a way that's like makes me feel like he doesn't know that I have feelings, you know? Like there will be certain customers who are just like and there will be customers who, what's the word, ejaculate into their pants and then pay me the minimum of like $45 or $60. Like you go to a freaking massage parlor and you're gonna pay them $200 for like 10 minutes, like to bust a nut, you know? Like I'm just being real. And it's like me, I spent 1 hour getting ready. I spent 30 minutes doing my makeup. I straightened my hair. I showered and used my expensive perfume. I shaved my whole body. I exfoliated my whole body. I did a self-tan. Like it took work for me to get here. And for you to just do that is degrading. And like, I don't want anyone to comment and be like, you already knew that when you like went into the industry. Yes and no. Like we deserve to be treated like people, you know? Regardless of what we're doing. I feel that sex work is like, it is a want and not a need, but it's also, you can argue it to be a need. Like it was invented because of men, and men just naturally have more testosterone, and in a way it kind of prevents like, it prevents crimes against women to some degree, because let's say no sex work existed and men couldn't just pay someone to do something for them and they had to like find women organically, like it just wouldn't work. Like we do this work so that women who don't have to suffer, I guess. I don't really want to go into that topic because it's kind of hard to explain, and I don't want to like trigger anyone. But yeah, I definitely think like our job is important. Like it's not just a useless job of like, oh, you're just twerking, like you're not really doing anything. It's arguably a very valuable job in my opinion. But oh, what was I gonna say? The job is already hard enough. And then to add on top of that, the managers and the bouncers being super misogynistic. They don't want to see you making money. It just like, it's hard. Like I wish there was more like women-owned clubs, because maybe they're abusive too, but like I feel like a woman would understand, you know, a woman would understand the pain, and like, I don't know, it's just, it has me overwhelmed, honestly. And I don't know if like it's worth it anymore. Like it's not worth my mental health. Like I already went on a vacation. Like I just came back from Berlin like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, okay, after that I'm not going to be burnt out anymore. And then it's just like same thing over and over. And now like 2 weeks in, I'm already burnt out. Like I need another vacation. Like it's kind of ridiculous. And so yeah, I just took like Saturday off yesterday. I was like, I cannot have another bad night because I'm gonna lose my marbles. I need to come up with different words. But I still am going to be working like at the club, because I can't just quit cold turkey, but a lot less. I still want to make like some content about that and like answer any questions if anyone has any. And probably dive deeper into like some topics. I kind of went very surface level of like how the clients are, but yeah, like spiritually it's like not the best job. Some girls love it, you know, and I used to love it, and it used to give me like an ego boost, and I used to feel beautiful and whatever. But now it's just like it's all a facade, like it's all fake, and it's all just like revealing itself to me. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna go more into like social media work, and also focusing on my permanent makeup stuff, because I just got hired at a salon. And yeah, I don't know how to outro, but I hope that I'm like a good storyteller and that wasn't like too depressing. And yeah, if you really watched the whole thing, I appreciate you. And like, comment, and subscribe.